And for today, I have prepared on the topic on what makes you smile. All right. And this is, begin to allow us to kind of reflect upon our day and notice those moments, of what make us smile. Sometimes, smiling could seem like it's kind of involuntary, right? To things that we see or even a thought that appears in our mind, right? And some of these very subtle events that happens in the very busy moments of the day might just go past so quickly, right? And in mindfulness, we are beginning to cultivate moments of noticing, even as simple as action or smiling, right? Action that requires our facial expression to change, where we begin to lift up our cheeks, yeah, and just notice all the different facial muscles involved, as we begin to um, move into this facial expression, right? So for myself, I noticed that, when I smile, um, I will observe that my eyes would very quickly become smaller, right? And maybe you see the eye bags as well. But I also will notice, when I begin to smile, I would observe this sense of uplifting of my mood. And I'd like to invite all of us right now to move into a posture that supports us in this period of practice. All right? So establishing a posture that is comfortable for you, allowing both your feet to be flat on the ground, just kind of sensing the support. Inviting your eyes to close, if that's helpful. Otherwise, you can just lower your gaze and that's fine as well. So let's begin by taking in 3 beautiful deep breaths. Patiently noticing this very present moment that we have right now. Welcoming the condition of how's the body and the mind. With that sense of willingness to accept what's here already for us. Receiving the sensations in the body, the different areas of contact that it makes with either the chair or the ground that you're seated, lying on. Welcoming whatever thoughts that you may have in your mind in this moment. And when you feel ready, inviting all of us to bring this awareness into the lower half of the body. Sensing into the toes, just where they are right now. Just observing sensations if there's any. Gradually expanding this awareness into the heel, the upper surface of each foot, as well as the ankles. And beginning to notice as well sensations in the calves and the shin, just the way they are right now. And gradually including your awareness, the kneecaps and the thighs. So allowing yourself to just be with this moment, this body. In this moment, noticing the thighs and the kneecaps, just the way they are. And gradually on the next out breath, choosing to let go of this area and beginning to notice how's the bum feeling, the sit bones and the bum region. As for this very moment, acknowledging just the way we are seated, if that's the posture they are in right now. And gradually noticing as well the sensations in the lower back, from the base of the tailbone, and all the way up the entire vertebrae. So allowing yourself to drop into what's felt in this moment. Sensing. Sensing with the attitude of curiosity. And expanding this awareness to include the shoulder blades and the shoulders in the upper back region. So sensing into the left and the right shoulder, the way it is in the moment. And down into both the arms, the upper arms, the elbows, and forearms. So this willingness to just attend to this area of the body. After a whole day of activity, whether it's at work or at home or wherever you are, giving your kind attention to the condition of this body right now. Gradually, bring awareness into the wrists and both your hands. Just the way the fingers are resting upon whatever surface it's on right now. All the way into the fingertips. And gradually from here, choosing to bring awareness into the belly. Tending to the flow of the air, or even the rise and fall of this region of the body that comes so naturally. Making space for this to happen. The breath. Noticing the muscles in this region, in our abdominal area of the body. Gradually choosing to notice as well what's felt in the chest, the rib cage, the chest, the lungs, and our heart. And if you like to, you may even wish to thank the body, thank the heart for keeping us alive moment to moment. And expanding the awareness to include the neck, front of the neck, the back, sides. and into our face. Just observing what's your facial expression in this moment, even as we do and engage in this practice. How is it? So sensing into the mouth, the cheeks, the nose, the tip of the nose, the ears and the eyes, the eyelids, the forehead, and finally the back of the head and the top of the body. Just simply resting in the spaciousness of this breath. The way you're feeling in this very moment. So attending to how you feel right now. What do you discover? Just taking this moment in this practice to just bring to mind how your day has been. What put a smile on your face today? What was it or who was it? Feeling into what this memory brings for you in this moment. As you recall and bring to mind what makes you smile. Just observing the sensations of the body or even the emotions that you experience. Just giving that space to savor this memory if that's the case for you. And beginning to, as this practice comes to an end, allowing yourself, just notice another 3 more beautiful breaths. And at the end of that 3rd breath, allow yourself to invite your eyes to be open. And as you do that, intentionally bring a beautiful smile on your face right now. For just having taken the time to do this practice. As we gather today, again and again, week after week, when we begin to notice what makes us smile, this could be the people that are close to us. It could be when we engage in a kind deed, so when we help someone, right? And so this is where as we begin to practice mindfulness, day to day, in a very real way, we are cultivating this awareness, right? That helps us to just pay attention to these moments in our day, right? So smiling can really have a booster effect on our mood as well as our heart. So I think earlier I mentioned about how there was a study that was done. So they wanted to find out, if we were to allow ourselves to intentionally put a smile on our face, does that really help us to reduce stress? So even though it may not be something that come out naturally, right? But we purposefully try to just put a smile on our face, can it actually help us to feel less stress? So the research, that was recently published just points us towards that, right? So this is a team of psychologists from the University of Kansas, right? So they wanted to discover whether having our face in a smiling position could reduce stress. So this study was published in the Journal of Psychological Science. And they wanted to determine not what makes someone smile, but what a smile can do once you have it in place, right? So this is what they did, right? So the participants were given a few tasks that were known to be stressful. So one of which is, they were to trace the outline of a star using a non-dominant hand while looking in a mirror. Not easy, isn't it? Another task is putting the hand in a bowl of ice water for 1 minute. And the participants actually perform the task in 3 different ways, right? So one is they are not smiling. The second condition is the facial expression or the teeth is held in a moderate smile. And the last one is they have a broad smile, right? So this is what they found, right? So how to actually measure stress? 2 things. So one is a physiological measure. So they take the heart rate measurements. So by asking, so in terms of an instrument that measures their heart rate. The other one is a subjective measure. So they ask them how stressed they felt while performing the difficult task. And this is the interesting part, right? They found that all of the participants, regardless of their facial expression, they reported feeling about the same degree of stress during the task. But what was interesting or what was different among the 3 groups was how quickly the different groups' heart rates returned to normal. So in the first group of participants, where they were not to smile, so having a neutral position, they actually took the longest to recover, right? So the heart rate actually took longer to return to baseline. Not surprisingly, for people in the broad smiling group, so those who were asked to smile broadly, their heart rate actually recovered the most quickly. And for those that were a standard smile, so just a moderate smile like this, they were also experiencing a better heart rate recovery than those with a neutral face. So I think this is really interesting, right? That and you can notice this for yourself as well. When you begin to smile, immediately you will notice, some of the very immediate benefits of doing that. So for myself, as I mentioned earlier, when I smile, I would notice the uplifting of my mood. And I would just notice how my eyes would become smaller, right? And I'm not sure whether there's research that points towards how smiling actually makes you younger, but I get that a lot. A lot of people ask me, hey, Eric, how old you are? And when I told them my age, they couldn't believe it. And they asked me, so what's your secret? I told them, I smile a lot. And I think there's some sense of truth to that, right? So, and I think it's also reciprocal. When you smile, it is oftentimes the people who notice our smile would smile back. Though it may not be the case all the time, but it's interesting to just explore that, right, for yourself. So today's theme of, what makes you smile, I hope that gives us a little insight into just observing, right, with awareness, how we bring ourselves into the different moments of our day, right? So if you feel a bit stressed and perhaps, it could be just a very stressful situation that might have just happened, why not just intentionally bring a smile to your face, right? Maybe just for a brief second, and just notice, what you feel for yourself, right? If it's a more challenging or tricky situation, maybe a smile might not be able to have that same level of benefits, but it's just worth noticing as well, what are the thoughts that is maintaining that sense of unhappiness for yourself, right? And this is where mindfulness helps us to build up that awareness as well. All right, so thank you everyone. I hope that today you managed to learn something about this, right? And I invite you to just notice those moments that you smile. What made you smile? And see if you can just recollect those moments at the end of the day, even as you're lying in bed and getting ready to sleep. All right. So thank you everyone and take care.